what doctors and dermatologists don't tell you about medications and eczema, the risk factors, and also what you should be doing long term. So I'm just sitting here with Billy. We're on a little road trip and Billy has gone down for a little nap, so just hiding in the car. But I was checking my inbox and this is something that comes up again and again and again. After working with hundreds of people with eczema and people going through topical steroid withdrawal and weaning off Dupixent, getting to the point where they build antibodies and resistance to the medication, and then they're like, well, now what am I supposed to do? We see the aftermath of that. So this is a really, really, really helpful piece of information, whether you're thinking about using medications. If you are using medications, it's okay. Nothing against medications, whether that's topical steroids or Dupixent, biologics, immunosuppressants, they're all doing the same thing. They're suppressing an immune reaction, right? Because eczema is dry skin plus inflammation. You just have dry skin, it's dry skin. You have to have the inflammation, that's eczema. So yeah, they're effective until they're not. So why don't we zoom out and look at what they're doing, blocking inflammation. So long term, if we do need to use these medications, because if it's affecting you mentally, emotionally, you just need a break, I get it. Take a break. And then long term, well, let's get to the root cause of what's causing the inflammation. Because if you don't use topical steroids responsibly, people end up just getting topical steroid withdrawal because they have no idea. There's been no disclaimer and there's no responsible use. So people can go through topical steroid withdrawal, which we see our clients who a year of their life is taken away from them because they have red skin syndrome. Their blood vessels are locked open, and then also their skin just sheds off like a snake. They're sweeping up piles of skin. It's way worse than when they started using steroids. Or using Dupixent, which can be life-saving, especially if you're going through TSW. It gives you a break, but there's side effects. We've had multiple clients who have gotten red facial flares and they've never had eczema in their face. Also your vision, so many things. And then there's a point too where it stops working. Like Marjorie, who we just spoke to a couple weeks ago, she built up antibodies. Then the next thing is JAK inhibitors. So you keep going through these different medications that are essentially covering up the side effects from the next one. So if you are using these medications to give yourself a break, why not get to the root cause while you're on the medications? Understand what's causing the inflammation that you're needing the medications to block. Does that make sense? I'm very passionate about this because we see the aftermath of it and it's awful. People go through a really hard journey and it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to get to the point where you're completely relying on medications, and it doesn't have to get to the point where your life is literally on hold. So anyways, that aside, what do we do? If you're using medications to block inflammation, well, what's causing inflammation, right? Doing lab tests, looking at your blood work, doing a GI map, a stool analysis. There's so many other tests, but we want to base it off of what's coming up for you. We have the eczema symptom score test, comment test below. That helps you see which body system you need to support. Gut healing is definitely number one. Nervous system regulation, we do every single member. Two biggest root causes of eczema. Then there's also hormone imbalances, nutrient deficiencies, hidden infections like heavy metals and mold and whatnot, but understanding what's coming up for you. So do that work, because the trickiest part is that people go on these medications or they go through TSW and then you still have to deal with the eczema, which is worse than when you start using medications. If you would like to hear about some other eczema warriors' journeys with using topical steroids, topical steroid withdrawal, weaning off Dupixent, coming off JAK inhibitors, comment Marjorie, we just did her interview, or Laura, or both. We'll send you the links so you can listen to their journeys. Save this post and follow for all things healing eczema.